What's up, you guys? Steven Muehlhausen of DAZN. Yes, I am Steven Muehlhausen of DAZN. This is the Walkway to Fight Club on August the 27th, 2020. I promised Daryl Rivera no Daryl tonight. Daryl had something going on. Unfortunately, Daryl will not be able to join us. But that is okay. Hopefully, Daryl is doing okay, and we will see Daryl hopefully for the next podcast. But before we get all the particulars and everything else squared away, thank you to everyone that did watch last night's NXT recap, whether it was on YouTube, whether it was on Facebook Live. It is greatly appreciated. I thank you so much. We'll get everything squared away right now. If you're on Facebook, just go like the video, give a ha-ha, give any type of reaction you want to the video, and also, more importantly, follow the page and also like the Facebook page as well. And we're also live on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up. It helps in the rankings. Leave any questions and comments you do have. I'm going to talk AEW Dynamite, NXT ratings, Dana White speaking at the Republican National Convention. So if you want to get rid of, don't want to watch Donald Trump speak, you can hear me speak. So who's cooler, me or the president? I'm going with me. But you can also find the podcast on Twitter at Walkway Fight. And you can also find the podcast on Instagram, as I hear myself on my phone. You can also find us on Instagram at Walkway to Fight Club, all in lowercase letters. But a very, very intriguing night, I thought, of AEW. But before even we get into that, I also want to... It's a rough time in the world. And I went over this last night, but I feel like it needs to be said again. My hearts and prayers go out to everyone along, whether it's in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, going up through Arkansas. I got family in Arkansas, so I hope you guys are doing okay. As far as I know, you guys are doing great. But Hurricane Laura is kicking ass, taking names, and doing a little bit more. So my hearts and prayers go out to everyone in Texas, the states of Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, up in Tennessee. It's a rough one. And it sucks. I hate it. I don't think it's fun. I want everyone to be safe and everyone to be healthy. Thankfully, the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, who to me is kind of a quack. But on this one, he got it right, making sure everyone is. He said over 10,000 people in Texas had evacuated. So hopefully everyone is okay. They're safe. Don't be a hero. And I said this last night, don't be a hero, please. It's not worth it. It's really not. And then, and at the end of the day, it's just a home. It's just a car. Anything you have in the inside or outside of your home, those are just all material things. And it's all you can really do. Just pray for safety. And you go from there. What more can you do? So I hope all my hearts and prayers go out to them. Everyone wants to comment what's about Jacob, but I don't want even about what's going on in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Not far from here. About an hour from Chicago and from where I reside in Chicago. And, and I said it last night and I'll say it again. I don't even know what to say. It sucks because now someone's paralyzed for a senseless shooting. Regardless of what the person may or may not have done, it's still not worth paralyzing somebody. And I'll leave it at that. But let's get to happier things. Let's talk about wrestling. And AEW, I got to admit tonight, this show I thought could have gone one of two ways. this could have gone the route of disaster, which I thought it was going to go. Just because it's Thursday night, you got the Republican National Convention. You got everything going on with the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the Major League Baseball. You got you got them boycotting and striking, however you want to call it. I don't even know what to call it right now. And it seems the world's focus is on that. Hopefully not. I hope that, people were focusing on what's going on in sports, what's going on in pro wrestling. I think this could have been, a way for AEW to get some shine. I just don't feel like that probably won't happen. And I think that's quite unfortunate just because of everything going on in the world. And it sucks. It legit sucks. What's going on in the world is not fun. It's not. It makes me sad. It really does. And, for 2 hours tonight, you didn't have to think about all the unrest going on in our nation. That's what pro wrestling's for, at least in my own mind. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. I don't know. But I thought for 2+ hours, I thought AEW delivered a fantastic show tonight. I didn't think about anything going on in the world. My sole focus was watching a wrestling show. Yes, it's my job. But when I'm working, I'm thinking about other things just like everybody else is in this world. It's because I cover all this for a living in MMA, boxing, and pro wrestling doesn't mean I'm not a human being and I don't have feelings. It's a rough situation. But you know what? AEW delivered. And didn't have to think about a thing until I hit the live button. And kudos to Tony Khan and the crew. Great job tonight. I thought Chris Jericho on commentary was, who in the heck? Chris Jericho reminds me, and maybe I am just way off base here. Chris Jericho reminds me of Bobby. He reminds me of Bobby Heenan. Very quick-witted. Says the right thing in the right time, and he makes you laugh. That's what that's about. Take you away from the problems of what's going on in the world. And he's just got that wit. He's got that banter about him, and that's one of the main things I love about Chris Jericho. I thought Jericho tonight was great. And I see people on Twitter saying, "Oh, the show wasn't that good," and how wasn't that show any good? That's what I'd like to know. How wasn't the show good? What was so bad about the show? I really couldn't find too much that was bad about it. I could say maybe you want to say the 3-on-1 women's tag match. That was kind of I wasn't too happy about that match. But you look at the rest of the show, the gauntlet tag was good. A surprise. Looks like a heel turn from Adam Page. They still were able to not swerve, but they were able to maneuver themselves to where you didn't get a 2-on-2 match with FTR and the Bucks. You avoided that. That's a job well done, because you could tell that's what they're saving for. So then now you have FTR against Page and Omega at All Out on September 5th, live and only on pay-per-view. I thought the gauntlet was pretty good. The Taz and Jake Roberts mic work, it was a little too much. I do want me, though, to see some Lance Archer and Brian Cage. I think that would be a crack ton of fun. So I thought that was fun. The thing with Moxley and MJF, whoo-hoo, that sold some pay-per-view units. That sold some pay-per-view units tonight, everybody. That was great. A great job by MJF. A great job by Moxley. I would have saved this for next week, though. I would have done something else tonight, then done the contract signing next week. I think you could have maximized your viewers because now you're on a new night for this week. And a lot going on tonight. You couldn't have predicted everything going on in Kenosha and, the boycotting and, the NBA, NHL playoffs and MLB. You couldn't have predicted that. And you really couldn't. But I think you could have pivoted and you could have done that next week when you're back on your normal night. That's what I would have done. Because then you're all by yourself. And you could have drawn a monster rating next week. I would have gone there, but they have a plan. They're going to stick with it. But I thought that promo, that segment was absolute money. Great job by both guys. You have to give them a ton of credit, and I'm looking forward to that match coming up at All Out. Great job promoting the women's title match. You have to give a lot of credit to Billy Corgan, Tony Khan, NWA, AEW working together. That to me, that's always good. Then you had I thought, a really solid main event. It wasn't too long. I wish it would have gone I could have gone another 2-3 minutes with Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy. The ending was really good. It was a great way to close the show. The brawl with Orange Cassidy came like a dart out of nowhere and attacked Jericho. The show ended with them brawling. Job well done by AEW tonight. But once again, we got a lot of people coming in and out here. So if you guys are watching, watch live on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and also like the video. You're watching on Facebook Live. Just give any type of reaction to the video. And also like the Facebook page. Follow the Facebook page as well. And don't be afraid to leave questions and comments. I do promise they will all get answered. And if they don't, I will stay. If they're not done in a certain amount of time, I'll stay on here till 3 a.m. So that I can promise. But show started off with the Gauntlet Battle Royal. Not the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet Tag Team match. The winners facing Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega at All Out. Good match. We started with the QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes against the Young Bucks. They were already in the ring. And so one thing I like about AEW, they're already in the ring. It's how we don't get these long, boring promos for 15, 20 minutes. We're getting right into the action. And I thought a solid tag match. I really, really did. This was a really good way to kick off the show. Dustin hit the Destroyer, power slam on Nick and Matt Jackson. QT Marshall tried for the QT special, missed, and he got cut off. Marshall tried the cutter, got shoved into a super kick from Nick Jackson. The Bucks hit double super kicks and a BTE trigger for the win. I've never seen a BTE trigger. I liked it. It was short. It was quick. It's to the point. And who does a better Canadian Destroyer than Dustin Rhodes? 51 years old and doing Destroyers. I love it. I love it. And then right away, and this is the one thing I really love, right away, here come Best Friends. You didn't go to a commercial. Oh, we're going to a commercial. No. Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta came right out. And I thought every time these guys are in the ring, I think it's magic. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm being a little naive. But I thought a solid tag match. Both teams, I thought, just had it tonight. Another really had it going on. Back and forth action. I'm sorry, guys. I was kind of looking at my clock here. But no, they were a good back and forth action. Man, I keep losing my spot here, guys. I am so sorry. Let's see. Beretta took the German suplex on the apron. Taylor and Beretta hit the soul food half and half suplex combo. I thought a great spot. Nick Jackson attacked Chucky T's knee, and that's kind of where it went from there. Nick hit the springboard facebuster on Chuck. Beretta hit Nick with the spear on the floor. They got the heat back on Nick Jackson. I like the fact that Matt Jackson, for once, was really get that too much. More often than not, it's Nick. Matt gets the hot tag. Rolling Northern Lights suplexes on Beretta. Nick tagged back in. Got cut off. Best friends went for the strong zero. Matt saved Nick. A beautiful 450 by Nick Jackson to Trent. And then the Bucks went for the Meltzer driver. Hangman Page came out of nowhere. This was well done. Good camera work. It wasn't bop, 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 bop like we see on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. It was, didn't even pay attention to it. Cradle by Trent to pin Matt Jackson. Best friends upset the Bucks. And the way Page sold it. Absolutely wonderful. Page couldn't have sold that better. The Bucks state of shock. A member of the Elite, costing them a chance to go to the face FTR to see who would face them at All Out. Adds to the drama. Is Hangman Page a heel now? I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Is Adam Page a heel, guys? By the looks of things, I would say Hangman Page is a heel. No Kenny Omega tonight. I thought that was a surprise. Thought we would see Kenny. That was really something I thought they would really try to hammer home of why Omega being, or trying to stop him, or he came out like, what are you doing? I thought that was kind of weird. But it was just one of those things that where, well done. It was long overdue. I will admit. I've been waiting for that for 7 months. Well done. Now it leaves me wondering. What's going to happen next? I think this is the likely thing. You would think they're going to drop the tag titles, but I don't know. But then as soon as the Bucks got eliminated, here came FTR with Tully Blanchard. I love the fact they came right. Those coats, baby. Jericho was all about them coats. Those coats were amazing. Out on a scale of 1 to 10, those coats were a 20. Had the names on them. FTR on the back. I love the trunks. Job well done, boys. Job well done. I was very impressed. Very, very, very impressed. The FTR, they went to a commercial, then FTR came in, immediately attacked Best Friends, knocked them out of the ring. Chucky T got a couple of hope spots, cradle Dax Harwood for a near fall, cashed the suplex on Trent on the floor, and it basically turned into a 2-on-1 handicap match. Great job of selling, I thought, by Taylor. I thought it was really well done. And then Dax Harwood, an inverted knee bar with an ankle lock and a quick tap out by Chuck Taylor. FTR advances to the finals. Actually, FTR advanced to face the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page at All Out on Saturday, September 5th at Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Live and only on pay-per-view and BR Live. Shocked it went that short, but then I really shouldn't be because they're really trying to establish FTR. I like Tully with them. Brings a little pizzazz to the team, I think. The brains of the operation, in a way, like a J.J. Dillon type of role when, J.J. Dillon managed Tully and Arn Anderson. So I like the direction of that. I thought that was really well done. And I like that pairing and that trio together. That tag team match at All Out should be amazing. Hype video for Darby Allin wearing a Ricky Starks mask and jumped off a suspension bridge into a body of water. You can say, I will never do that. I don't care how much you pay me. I can be drinking a ton of beer and hungo and drunk, and I would not do that. Darby Allin is certifiably nuts. Man, I apologize, guys. God, that internet cut me off there. Gotta get new internet. If you guys can recommend a great internet service, please let me know. AT&T sucks. I am stuck with this godforsaken internet service through the middle of November. So please, in 2 months, I'm going to keep asking you guys, what is a good internet service? Because this is awful. Jake Roberts came back from commercial. Jake came back a couple seconds early. And that's where they got to cue Jake and be like, hey, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. They didn't do that. And Jake came back a couple of seconds early. Talk about how Archer only has one blemish on its record, and it cost him a lot when he lost to Cody for the TNT title. Roberts interviewed Archer, who said he'll win the Casino Battle Royale, which will be taking place at All Out. Out came Taz, Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, Team Taz, confrontation in the ring with Roberts and Archer. A funny line, Roberts called Team Taz the Flintstones. Taz kept trying to talk. Roberts cut him off. Then out came Darby Allin, attacked Ricky Starks. They went at it leading in through the entryway, and then you had Archer and Cage, and you can sign me up for Brian Cage and Lance Archer. That would be a banger. That would be some fun. And if they are the last two in the ring in the Battle Royale, I am more than okay with that. You can give me some singles. I can live off of that. I think a job well done. A very, very, very good segment. Extremely well done. Awesome. And I love this video package. The hype, the women's title match at All Out has Hikaru Shida will be defending the AEW women's title against Thunder Rosa from the NWA. Good video package. Voiceover done by Billy Corgan. Put over how great it is that AEW and the NWA are working together. Great. I thought a great job by Tony. You saw Tony Schiavone put over Rosa as a big star, very talented in the ring. JR said that Sheeta was put on this earth to be a pro wrestler. I like the skit where they're both in the room signing the contract. They're going face to face. Thunder Rosa does the fist sign right under Sheeta's chin. You got me sold. That sold a couple pay-per-views in my mind. I thought a job well done by Billy Corgan. I thought a job well done by all parties involved. Both ladies, I thought did a great job, great intensity. That should be a great match. I love Thunder Rosa. If you have not watched Thunder Rosa, go on the NWA's YouTube channel and watch her. She's very good, extremely talented. And man, I like promotions working together. Because you could see, look at AEW working with the NWA. They have a loose working relationship with MLW. I like how they're doing it. They're open to working with other people, where WWE is so narrow-minded. They pretend just no one else exists in pro wrestling besides them. And I think that's what hurts WWE. But that is just my opinion. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know. But I could be wrong, but I really don't think I am. Now, my favorite, to me, the best part of the show. I am first shocked they didn't go with this segment to close the show. Was very surprised by, I wonder what the reasoning was. Because this was the thing that was the most hyped thing for the show. It was this, and then the gauntlet match to determine the number one contenders for the tag titles. But it was what it was. But let's get to it now. MJF came to the ring with his lawyer, Mark Sterling, his entire entourage for his campaign. A great ovation for Moxley. Now, I want to make this clear. AEW had fans tonight, and I didn't say that, and I should have said that earlier. I don't know how I feel about AEW having fans. What do you guys think of AEW having fans at Daly's place? Let me know. Leave questions and comments. Let me know how you feel about that, because I don't know how I feel about that. With everything going on with COVID-19 in the world right now, I don't know. It's like a part of me, yeah, it was great to see fans, people cheering, people booing, people chanting, clapping, people that weren't wrestlers. I thought that was awesome. But then you have that other part of me is like, man, COVID-19 is going on, wreaking havoc on the world. And we got, I think it's about 750 people at a pro wrestling show. Now, the crowd was loud for stuff they liked. I thought the crowd was very good. Surprised me. I didn't think they would be that receptive to a lot of things, but they were. I think they were just excited to see wrestling, and you could tell the talent fed off of that as well. I don't know. They were taking all precautions, temperature checks. Everyone had to wear masks. Everyone had a mask on. I thought that was key. That was cool to see. Showing that they're not scared to have people wear masks. I have no problem with that. I thought that was cool and the right thing to do. And I know everyone's been skeptical of AEW chairman Tony Khan doing that and having fans, but I'm going to give Tony Khan the benefit of the doubt here, because he hasn't been wrong on much, and he's built up some credibility. At least to me, he has. In my eyes, he has. And that's not because, AEW is accessible to me and everything else and so on and so forth. It's just because his word has been good. So far, he hit everything they've said they've done, they've delivered on. So I'm gonna cut AEW some slack. But getting back to the promo. Good reaction from Moxley. This promo both guys did an extremely good job here. MJF said he was a pro wrestling prodigy who grew up studying guys like Ernie Ladd, Buddy Rogers. While Moxley was watching the Sandman Onita and John Zandig. Who in the hell is John Zandig, by the way? Does anybody know? Because I have no damn idea. And this, I'm not trying to disrespect John Zandig. I know a lot of pro wrestling. I have no idea who in the hell John Zandig is. So if someone can tell me who John Zandig is, that would be highly greatly appreciated. It would mean a lot if you guys told me. And then a great line here before Moxley talked. MJF goes, maybe Mox's hot little wife should call him since he's single. Hot single wife meaning the newly touted free agent for an AEW, who I will say is attractive. And there is. MJF is not lying there. Moxley got a little... And then Moxley did cool down. Moxley said he wants to use the paradigm shift, but he wants to hurt MJF and cause him permanent neck damage. But by banning the move, MJF has just forced him to find more creative ways to hurt him at All Out. Moxley signed the contract. But you knew Moxley was up to something. He was too chipper to not want to sign the contract and not allow the paradigm shift at All Out with MJF because MJF has a hurt neck. The deal in the contract, and this was great. He gets to wrestle Mark Sterling, MJF's lawyer, next week on Dynamite. Well done segment. Great job by all parties involved. Made me want to see the match more. I don't want to see that nonsense next week. I think the contract signing should have taken place next week, and it should have closed the show. That's what's selling the tickets. Not the tickets, but that's what's selling the pay-per-view, is that match. I wish this would have been at the end of the show. No offense to Guevara and Hardy, but that could have been at the top of the second hour, and it would have done just fine. Because then you build that anticipation for the end of the show, and that's what people want to see is MJF and Moxley. Hype video for Santana Ortiz recapping the feud with Best Friends. And then we got Butcher, The Blade, Pentagon Jr., and Ray Phoenix with Eddie Kingston against Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss, Brian Pillman Jr., and Griff Garrison. God, I love Brian Pillman Jr. The four send Janela, Kiss, Pillman, and Garrison out there to be tackling dummies for Kings. I love it. Pentagon and Phoenix with stereo dives. Pentagon hit Janela with a package pile driver on the apron. I felt Joey Janela's pain, and I was sitting on my couch drinking a glass of water. It hurt. Pillman then took a bump on his head off a lariat. Phoenix hit a springboard double stomp and pinned Brian Pillman Jr. I thought Pillman showed a lot of fire. I thought some good chops. You could tell, look, just like his dad, the great Flying Brian, who left us way too soon. But I really like Brian Pillman. The logical thing was for him to take the fall. He's on a per appearance deal. He's still under contract to MLW, so he could take the fall. Even though I know Brian Pillman Jr. wants to go, hopefully they can work that out with MLW and they can keep him on board with MLW, because I still think he needs a little bit more work, and I think he would be really good for the MLW brand. I really do. But just really kind of just a throwaway match. Eddie Kingston cut a promo and said he and his stable will be in the Casino Battle Royale, and one of the 5 will win. And then the talking tonight on this show, the promos were very good. Because then here came a segment with Mr. Brody Lee celebrating his TNT title win last Saturday over Cody. The Dark Order came out carrying a casket. They held a funeral for Cody and the Nightmare family. Out came Mr. Brody Lee. They did a celebration. And then they got into the ring, and Brody Lee said the open challenges Cody was having are over. No more time for the independent geeks. And Cody's career is over. The Natural Nightmares, Dustin and QT Marshall came out. Dark Order beat him down, and out came Scorpio Sky. Then he got run down, and out came Matt Cardona. cleaned house. The Dark Order skedaddled. The celebration was fine. It was what it was. I like Brody Lee on the mic. I like how he intimidated Shivani. You can tell they're going to go back to Brody Lee and Cody when Cody comes back. He's filming some stuff with Stephen Amell. And Stephen Amell's got like a show on Stars, and I forget the name of it off the top of my head. But I don't know how long Cody will be out, so there was a way to write him off. But I think they're going to go back to that program. But now it seemed like it was just designed to set up some challengers for Brody Lee. Yeah, maybe they go with Dustin at All Out, and then you can go with Scorpio Sky, and then you can go with Matt Cardona. I like the concern Colt Cabana showed, because you start to see like they're teasing Cabana having doubts about Brody Lee. And I think we get a match with those two down the line as well. Brody Lee's going to have some challengers. So I think it's going to be quite intriguing. And I'm going to like this little ride here because Brody Lee's a great talent, very underutilized in WWE. I thought a better than average promo. The rest of the segment I could have done without. Maybe it just leads to him and Cardona at All Out. I don't know. But I would wait on it. I would build that up. Maybe you can get to November and with that program. But we shall see. Dasha was hanging out with Hangman Page at the bar. The Young Bucks entered and confronted Hangman why he cost them the match earlier. Matt said all the Bucks ever wanted was for Hangman to be their friend. Nick said he called Hangman a jobber a long time ago but didn't mean it, but said Page was a jobber tonight. He didn't react to any of it. And then they kicked him out of the Elite. Page stared into the broken mirror like a comic book villain at the point in his origin story where he turns evil. Hangman out of the Elite. How do you kick him out of the Elite? You don't even talk to Kenny? You don't talk to Cody? I thought they had to have like a majority vote. Hangman out of the Elite. That sucks. That's a boot to the Bucks. Come on. How can you kick out the Hangman? Then you had Big Swole against Britt Baker, Penelope Ford, and Reba with Kip Sabian at ringside. Britt Baker came in, caught a promo. Wearing an awesome Michael Jordan jersey, by the way. Baker said if Swole wins, she gets Baker in any kind of match that she wants at All Out. I love the fact she stayed in the wheelchair on the outside the entire match. That was great. She never did tag in. Ford picked Swole up, almost dropped her on her head. Reba and Ford worked over Swole. Baker threw Reba a crutch. The ref took the crutch away. Sabian took the ref. Baker threw another crutch to Reba. Reba hit Ford with the crutch by mistake, but actually missed her by a... God, that was horrible. That was like Randy Orton missing the punt on Drew McIntyre on Raw. That was horrible. Missed by a country mile. Big Swole pinned Penelope Ford. Now, Big Swole, Britt Baker, All Out. Big Swole gets the pick to stip. The match was hideous. Was it the worst match I've seen this year? I got texted that. I don't know. I've seen a lot of bad this year. It's not like WWE has really set the house on fire, but this is definitely in the top 5 of worst matches of the year. Not a good look for Big Swole. Not a good look for Britt Baker, even though Baker cut a hell of a promo. But I think I'm not a fan of Reba. I do like Penelope Ford. I think she's got a lot of talent. But we get big. But the end game, thankfully the match didn't last long, is Big Swole and Britt Baker at All Out. They've done a good job building up Big Swole, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. And then we got the lineup for next week. We got Moxley versus MJF's lawyer, Santana Ortiz against Best Friends, Chris Jericho in singles action as he gets ready for All Out, faces Joey Janela, Private Party and SCU versus the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express in an 8-man tag where the winners face each other at All Out. Dark Order came out the ringside to recruit Taya Conti, who was Anna Jay's partner in the women's tag team tournament. She accepted and hugged Anna Jay. It just kind of felt like out of nowhere. It was just kind of thrown there. It's kind of like, okay, what is... And I was like, what the hell is going on here? It was definitely a head scratcher. They could have been done... It could have been done on like a social video. It could have been done on Being the Elite. That could have been done at any time. That was a throwaway segment. And then we had the main event, Matt Hardy against Sammy Guevara in a tables match. Man, they went like all out there. That was, I thought, a good tables match. It went the right amount of time because these matches can tend to drag on. And luckily we did not get that here because you get that way too often in these types of matches. The one thing I didn't like right away, they went to a commercial break after like 2 minutes. It's like, what are you doing? I hate that picture in picture, even though it was, people are like, oh, it's picture in picture. The fact they still went picture in picture was awful. No need for that. I didn't have a need for that whatsoever. I thought that was pretty, I don't want to say low rate, but I just didn't think that was very good. Each guy bled. They busted each other open during commercial break. Hardy missed an elbow off the apron, but went through the table, but not a finish. As you have the rules of an AEW table match are you have to be put through the table by your opponent's offensive move. Hardy put Guevara back up on the table, teased the top rope glaive drop. Guevara cut him off, hit a superplex through the table for the victory. I didn't like the fact this match went 7 minutes and you had about half of it. Had half of it for a commercial break. You could have cut out. I'm trying to think of what you could have. Like, you could have cut out that 3-minute Dark Order segment with Anna Jay and Tanya Conti. You could have given this at least a couple more minutes. Because these guys should have gotten 3-4 more minutes. I think that was a major disservice. They built this angle up pretty good. And then you only give them 7. You put them in the main event spot, which shows you had faith in both of them. But you got to give them more than 7 minutes. I thought that was a little absurd. Very absurd. Not a fan of that one. I thought that could have been done a lot better. A good match, though. But just needed, man, you could have given it at least another 3-4 minutes. You could have cut that out. Maybe you do, I'm trying to think, maybe you don't do the segment with Santana and Ortiz. You cut like a minute of that. You could have found a way to give these guys an extra 4 or 5 minutes. They didn't do it. They did those two guys a disservice, I thought. But now let's get to All Out. They promoted a lot of matches tonight for All Out. All Out, like we said earlier, Saturday, September the 5th. We have the main event of the show, Jon Moxley, MJF, the AEW World Heavyweight title. You have, for the tag titles, you have Hangman Page and Kenny Omega against FTR. Hikaru Shida against Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship. You have, I think, an intriguing match. You have the Dark Order. You have Mr. Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson against the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall, Scorpio Sky, and Matt Cardona. And then some of the participants have been announced for the Casino Battle Royale. Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Eddie Kingston, The Butcher and the Blade, Pentagon Jr., and Ray Phoenix. 12 participants left to go. The winner earns a shot at the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And then you also have Chris Jericho against Orange Cassidy. I'm trying to remember, what was his match called? Because I do not understand a mimosa street fight. kind of baffled by that one. But I get to see Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy, and that should be very good. Jericho Cassidy 3. One thinks Orange Cassidy's going over here and going over on the program. But we shall see. Are you excited? Do you like the All Out card? And that's the question I have for you guys. Leave any questions and comments you guys have. A lot of people bouncing in and out here. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much as I'm riding solo on this beautiful Thursday, August the 27th, 2020. I like the card. I do. I think it's a solid card. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Oh, boo. Who did that now? We talked about that yesterday. But I love the card. I think the card's very good. Moxley, MJF, that's what the show was built around. The tag title match is going to be awesome. God, you got Paige and Omega against FTR. If you thought you would get that 12 months ago, raise your hand. Not me. God, I did it again, guys. I greatly apologize. I was trying to do something. I hit the wrong button. But I think it's a good card. I'm looking forward to the women's title match. I think that's going to be very good. The Casino Battle Royale, I think keep doing those. I don't know why. It's like they're a crutch. For every pay-per-view, we get a Casino Battle Royale. I do like the fact, though, they do it for title shots. So I guess I'm okay with it. And I guess I kind of I don't have to be. But I can see why they go that route. But I just kind of wish they would. I wish they would go away from that for a pay-per-view. Just see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? You don't get a battle royale. You do something else. You create another match. But I understand you want to get everyone on the show. You have a big roster. So you want to get as much talent on there as humanly possible. And this is like their WrestleMania. This is where it all started. All in. 2018. In Chicago. It was amazing. Last year. All Out 1. I was there. It was amazing. The tag match of Pentagon and Phoenix against the Bucks. Jericho becomes the AEW champion. He gets booed out of the building. It just stinks this show isn't in Chicago. I would have been there covering it. It would have been phenomenal. Makes me sad. Not gonna lie. I'm pretty bummed. But it is what it is. Hopefully next year they come back to Chicago and we can have some fun. But let's get to NXT. We'll end with this. Up and down ratings. I felt like this week for NXT is they were unopposed. Averaged 824,000 viewers, down 3.4% from last week. But the good thing, there was some good. In the 18-49 demo, the show finished 24th with a .24 rating, identical the last week. Here's a breakdown of the ratings. It did a .17 in women 18-49, up 6.3%. 0.3 in men 18-49, down 6.3%. 0.12 people 18-34, up 33.3%. 0.05 in females 12-34, the same as last week. A 0.20 in males 12-34, up a staggering 42.9%. 0.28 in people 25-54, down 6.7%. And a 0.41 in people down over 50, down 2.4%. So an up and down, identical 18-49. It's actually, you know what? It stayed the same. The women was up a little bit. I thought a very, very, very big gain in males, 12 to 34. I think it was down people over 50 because everyone's watching the convention. So, in all honesty, it makes sense in that aspect. But that's got to be, the overall viewership's got to be disappointing just because you're coming off TakeOver. You had a good show. You crowned a new world champion. That people want to come out and see what Karrion Kross is going to say. He had a pretty good show, and yet the rating was down. It's just very, very surprising. I was shocked they were no competition. So it makes me wonder what AEW, when the rating comes out for AEW tomorrow, I wonder what it's going to be. They did 775,000 viewers last week. 0.31 in 18 to 49 demo. Placed them 5th overall. I don't know. On Thursday, President Trump was speaking to the American people tonight. He was giving his acceptance speech to be the Republican nominee. I don't know. Be a little scared if I'm AEW. But that's all you had. Like I said at the beginning, it's intriguing because there was no playoffs in the NBA or the NHL, no Major League Baseball. You're going up against the final night of the Republican National Convention, but you had the President of the United States speaking. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting. I'm very intrigued by what that rating will be for tomorrow. Because it's on Thursday night. It's a day they've never been on. I thought the AEW promoted it pretty well. But with NXT, they have a good match next week. They're on Tuesday. That should do well. You got the 4-way Iron Man match with Cole, Balor, Gargano, and Ciampa. So it will be interesting. And we will end with that for the evening. Thank you for everyone watching. Man, it was 52 minutes and it flew by like we just started. If you're watching on Facebook Live, you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Walkway to Fight Club, or just go on Facebook, The Walkway to Fight Club. If you're watching, give a reaction to the video, like the Facebook page, and follow it as well. You can also find it on Twitter. You can find the podcast on Twitter at Walkway Fight. We have also an Instagram page, Walkway to Fight Club, all in lowercase letters. You can find me right there, Stephen Muehlhausen, at S Muehlhausen. I capitalize the U, emphasize it, S Muehlhausen Jr. You can also find my work on DAZN and Sporting News, DAZN News, and SportingNews.com. Have an interesting podcast up tomorrow. And we have audio with Anthony Smith, who will be headlining the UFC show this weekend against Alexander Rakic. Robbie Lawler, Neil Magny, the co-headliner. Very motivated. I felt like a very motivated Anthony Smith. I'm looking forward to that fight coming up on Saturday. A big fight for him. Fires back at the media, which I really didn't blame him on. I thought some unjust to Anthony Smith. So I'm looking forward to that. Video will be up tomorrow. The audio will be up for that as well. And you can find the audio on everything we do here. Follow, download, rate, review, subscribe via iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and all your favorite podcasting platforms. A ton of podcasts already up. Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, Mario Lopez. Yes, the great Mario Lopez. That one was fun. That was a really fun interview. Scott Coker, WWE champion Drew McIntyre, Bailey, Johnny Gargano. A lot of really cool podcasts and a lot of cool ones coming up. We got Anthony Smith tomorrow. And then next week, we got a big one. That's going to cause some thunder. The pot of thunder. I'm not going to tell you who it is, because it's going to cause some waves. It's going to cause a ruckus. That's all I'm going to say. It's gonna wreak some havoc on the pro wrestling world, is all I'm going to say about that. I have an interview coming up that I'm going to release with Matt Cardona. A lot of cool stuff with Matt, and I'm really looking forward to releasing that one as soon as I get my flash drive and my external hard drive back, which is in the shop. But thank you for everyone that joined us. And if you forgot about YouTube, just type in the Walkway to Fight Club, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the video. It helps us out in the Google rankings. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for everyone watching tonight. Hope you guys have a good rest of the night. I am Steven Muehlhausen, and I'll talk to you guys later.